Well, good morning, people. Welcome to my channel. Today, we are going to be discussing multiple intelligence type questionnaire and astrological and psychological tests. All right. So, first off, all the description is in the description box. The Excel sheet download on Google Drive is also in the description box. You can go through that. Okay. Download it, take it for yourself, check it out. Let me know in the comments what you think. Now, the master questionnaire consists of 91 questions, there you go, in which you have to score yourself by giving 1 to 4 answers. Number 1 to number 4, whatever is your ranking. Okay, that's the way you got to score this. I have put here instructions for use. If you see, type in the score ranging from 1 to 4 in the column. 1 being not like me, and going right up till 4, which is mostly like me. It's a range. It's not a black and white thing. It's a range from 1 to 4, as you can see, right? Okay. Now, I shall here explain quickly what each one of these multiple types of intelligence that each one of us have in greater or lesser degree. Okay, let's start with the existential intelligence. Okay, before that, each one of these intelligence type is good for certain kinds of professions, career, activities, and so on. So because we are in a fast changing times with artificial intelligence coming in, people losing their jobs, and they are reevaluating what they want to do in their life, as in career, professional, what are they good for? These kinds of tools are invaluable, yes? So the second sheet of this same workbook, multiple intelligence type, has the intelligence type, linguistic, logical, mathematical, musical, etc., which we shall see. The intelligence description, what is the type of intelligence which it is good for, typical roles and potentials where they could shine, and related tasks or activities which will sort of help them enhance their talents, so to speak, and their preferred learning style. So you can go through this entire sheet also for the 9 types of intelligence we are speaking of. I shall cover here only the core characteristics and students with strong intelligence. What does it mean? The rest of them you can go through it. It's pretty detailed. Like you see, I've covered all intelligence types here. What are they good for? Identification of the type of intelligence in a child or in a youth. If you're a youth reading this, if you're a parent or teacher reading this, you will know the type in your child or in your student. It's important where they are good at. It's important for them to take the tests themselves. Anyway, so I will cover that and the astrological part. I will leave it for you to download, check it out, and read this in detail. This one as well as the next professional role typical. Okay, so I will leave that to you. Existential intelligence, what does it mean? Core characteristic is they have the ability to tap into collective consciousness, something which we really need, and children are coming in with talents these days. The capability to see how something relates to the big picture, overview. They are more intent on looking at collective value system, understanding of classical Western values of truth, goodness, beauty, etc. These days it's all merging. They are good at summative iteration, the ability to summarize details into a larger understanding, sort of an integrative approach rather than a differential approach. Intuitive iteration, responsiveness to the intangible qualities of being a human, be it responding to arts, philosophical virtues, religious tenets, etc. So students of this type, what do they display? Now we need to get to the planets and astrology, yes? Seek meaningful learning. They look for connections across curriculum, cross-curricular bridging, so to speak. They like to synthesize ideas based on their learning, synthesis, integration, like I said. Enjoy literature and customs from other cultures. very liberal, global, like we've seen in the previous worksheets. Like I said, we are getting more and more detailed, yes, as we go along. We are still to go up till 20, so we are still in the 7th. Have a strong connection with family or friends. They develop strong identity with their neighborhood and town. They express sense of belonging to a global community. They like to get involved in social and political causes. Existential. So in terms of planet, you see the existence pie slice over there. Is Jupiter and Ketu together or aspects to one another in natal or Navamsha? Navamsha more for 32 plus years of age, as you very well know if you know some astrology. Natal is from birth to 32 to 36 years of age. Okay. Why Jupiter and why Ketu? Ketu is non-natural liberalist globalist, like we saw in the earlier sheets. Jupiter provides that wisdom, that very overview approach. Jupiter is sort of the graduated form of Mercury, which is like a childlike intellect, so to speak. Yeah. So that's existential intelligence. Let's see the next one. Next one being interpersonal. Okay. The core characteristics of interpersonal people, they are more learning by simulations. They have collaborative skills. They have a capability to jointly complete tasks with others. Very cooperative. Cooperative attitude, the willingness to offer and accept input. Leadership roles, recognition by peers as someone to follow. They are more turned on by social influence. These days very common. The Instagrammers, the YouTube podcasters, an ability to persuade others. Social empathy, an awareness of the concern for others. Social connection, a skill meaningfully relating to others. So who is an interpersonal type? Or how does it matter in planets, let's say? Where is interpersonal? It's over here, this orange slice. So I have put 3 planets here, Ketu, Mercury and Moon. These 3 planets together or in conjunction of or in houses exchanged with one another. For example, Mercury in Cancer or Moon in Virgo or Gemini. And Ketu aspecting that. It could be a number of combinations. But this leads to a person who's very, very collaborative in a broader sense. Ketu being the detached one, who is a liberalist. Moon being the emotional one, who can connect with Ketu. Moon plus Ketu gives empathy, strong one. And Mercury gives the communication skills. Next one on our list is visual. This kind of intelligence, these kids have a spatial awareness of solving problems using spatial orientation. Non-sequential reasoning, thinking in divergent ways. You can also call it lateral ways. Visual acuity, assessment of information based on principles of design and aesthetics. They have a very good imagination. They see possibilities before engaging them in the physical world. They have small motor coordination, creating, building, arranging, and decorating. This is visual people. So the visual people in our pie chart, where is the visual guy gone? There, spatial visual. This one over here. So that's Jupiter and Venus and aspects combined thereof. Or Jupiter being the house of Venus, Taurus or Libra. Or Venus being the houses of Jupiter, either Sagittarius or Pisces. And aspecting one another or conjunct. This gives a strong visual capability because Venus stands for eyes, the second house. Yes. Even stands for connectivity with others, the 7th house. Both eyes and connectivity is Venus. Jupiter, on the other hand, is very etheric. It listens to higher knowledge. It gives the spatial coordination with Venus. Okay, you can take it that way. Next one, after visual, is whatever this is. Musical, right? Rhythmic musical. Sorry, there was a little overlap. Rhythmic musical. So these are musical people. They have a good hearing ability, heightened listening ability. They are seeking all kinds of patterns, not just in sound. This patterning, audio patterning, you might say, resonance, identification with patterns as an expression of experience. They think musically. These are the composers. These are the musical people who play musical instruments, right? So, what kind of orientation would it be planetary wise? Musical ones. Where's the musical guys here? There. I have put it as Venus plus Moon. The combination, conjunction, or house exchange in the natal or navamsha of this gives a very musically oriented person. Why? The rhythms are always captured by Venus. The strong resonance felt in the emotional body of that is captured by the moon. Moon is an emotional body. Venus is a pattern recognizer. Wherever Venus is strong, therefore you will find them very artistic, right? It's one of the things of Venus. Now we head off to what comes after rhythmic musical is linguistic, language. The core characteristic of this learning is, this intelligence is ideation, think and remember through internal language. In Neuro-Linguistic system, you would call this audio-digital. Functional literacy, understand the rules and functions of language, the semantics, so to speak. Self-regulation, the ability to analyze one's own use of language. Are you using the right words at the right time, kind of. Adaptation. They are good at applying rules of language to new and different contexts. Oral expression, ability to express oneself verbally. Written expression, explain and explicit writing. So what would give the astrological combinations of a linguistic person? Where's the linguist guy here? Over here, Mercury and Venus. Mercury is the intellectual capability. And Mars provides the logic to dictate that Mercury. Mercury plus Mars gives a strong linguistic capability, especially if it's in the second house, third house, or exchange of houses. Mars in the house of Mercury in the third house, for example. Mars in the third house, also bodily, but we'll come that later. Mercury in the house of Mars, in the house of Aries, very quick speech, for example. Yes? So Mercury and Mars will give you more linguistic tendencies. Next one on our list is a person who is having a naturalist type of intelligence. What are the core characteristics? Natural orientation. Identification with living organisms and their environment, so needed in the earth at this time. People who are earth sensitive, planetary sensitive. Attribution, orientation, finding common traits among items. Categorization, identifying categories by attributes. Like the geologists, botanists, they're identifying those categories. They have a hierarchical reasoning. They rank in terms of significance and relationships between one another. Plants, animals, the earth, the geology, the weather, tectonic plates, so on and so forth. Schematic memory. They have an ability to internalize and recall information by attribute, category, or hierarchy. So these are the geologists, the botanists, the naturalists of our world. So this type of intelligence, astrologically speaking, would be someone with Mercury and Moon dominance, or in one another's houses. Mercury in the house of Cancer, Moon in the house of Virgo or Gemini, or conjunctions of in one of these houses, will give a strong tendency to be a naturalist brain. The next one would be a kinesthetic system. We are talking of bodily kinesthetics. Sensory awareness is their core characteristic. They internalize information through bodily sensation. You might even call this 5 senses. They are very reflexive in nature. They respond quickly and intuitively to physical stimulus. Somebody who is very touch sensitive. It may be physically, it may be sensory. They are very tactile. They demonstrate well-developed gross and or fine motor skills. This is physical, Mars. Think Mars. Concrete expression of feelings and ideas through bodily movement. The dancers, the yoga people, the people who are very physical in nature. They have very good hand and body coordination, shows dexterity, agility and flexibility, balance and poise. Think physical here. They can be task oriented. They strive to learn by doing. So who are the kinesthetics? There must be some Mars, I would think. Bodily kinesthetics, there you go. Rahu and Mars. Rahu is very touch oriented person. It wants to feel stuff. Since it doesn't have a body, only a head, it is very focused on touch. It is excited by touch. So is Mars on a planetary solid level. It is all about body. So combination or aspects of this or conjunctions of this will give a very physically oriented individual. Okay. Next on our list is intrapersonal. What is the characteristic of intrapersonal intelligence? Core characteristics: effective awareness, the knowledge of one's feelings, attitudes, and outlook. Intra means between one another, so between two people. Ethical awareness, the setting of one's principles and moral priorities. These people have an acute awareness of themselves and what is right and ethical. Self-regulatory capabilities, monitoring one's thoughts, actions, and behavior. Metacognition means awareness of one's own thought process. Cognition is what you do with others. Metacognition is being aware of being aware. So, intrapersonal is always about Jupiter. A dominance of Jupiter in the chart will give you a highly intrapersonal person. Jupiter gives the planetary awareness of metacognition in an individual. Okay? So, the last one on our list is logical person. You see, we give too much importance in the mainstream education about logical only. You see how many things we are missing here. If nothing else, at least that will give you an idea of how much of intelligence we are ignoring in the humanity. Anyway, core characteristics: linear reasoning, seeking order and consistency; concrete reasoning, breaking down systems into their components; abstract reasoning, using symbols that represents concrete ideas; causal relationships, identifying through cause and effect within a system; complex operations, performing sophisticated algorithms, what like the geeks who make our AI and Google and whatnot. Yeah. So logical guy, where is the logical guy here? Logical and mathematical. So they will have a dominance of Ketu and Mars in conjunction or in houses thereof. Why Ketu and Mars? Because both of these creatures are extremely logical planets. Ketu is highly logical, good at mathematics, calculus, trigonometry, that kind of thing. Mars is also extremely logical, wants to put things in order. What comes before, what comes after, cause and effect is Mars. Both of these, when they are in conjunct or aspect, provides a strong logical capability to the individual. So, to conclude, take these tests and you can go to this next worksheet over here, general professional rules, to get an idea. Once you have done this 91 questions and you find out what you have a dominance of, check the chart. That's the way to go. Check up your chart and see what dominance or what planetary combinations are playing there in the natal and in the Navamsha. Therefore, getting an idea that you are good at these kinds of professions. And for professions, you can see these professional roles worksheet in this workbook. Download it. Links are in the description box. Feel free to comment. I would love to hear from you. Take care. Be safe.